suggested that Bournemouth Council should reserve part of the beach for nude bathing. Mrs. Gladys Bourne was against it. She said, "I know we want to be regarded as a swinging town, but we touch bottom when we come to this."
That's life.
From the Kensington Post, a youth found in possession of Chinese heroin told police who questioned him, "It isn't mine, I'm just looking after it for a Chinaman."
From the Kent Messenger, the commissioner said the wife was a very neurotic woman, with one leg in this world and the other in a world of her own. Between those two legs, she doesn't know quite where she is.
State your case, make your pitch. Life's a bitch if you let it get to you. That's your lot, it's all you got. It's the name of the game. Yeah! That's life.
Thank you, and welcome to That's Life. This is a new program.
New.
New!
So what's new about it? What's new about anything they call new these days? Like, for instance, what is new about New Breck shampoo? For a start, it says new on the sachets, but not on the bottles. So what is new about New Breck shampoo in sachets?
I asked Breck, and the man there said the new shampoo in the sachets is the same new shampoo as the new shampoo in the bottles, but the word new isn't on the bottles. I don't know why we did that.
Or take new Kleenex toilet tissue. What's new about it? The man from Kleenex said it is not essentially different from any other premium-grade toilet tissue, but our colours are new. Our deep orange is unique. There's one other brand offering an orange, that's Andrex, but their orange isn't as deep as our orange. So there.
Take New Lux soap. New Lux soap? The man from Lever Brothers said the soap hasn't changed, so it's not new. Oh, yes, it is. It's a new shape, a new colour, a new smell. And what's more, he said, this is the first product in the United Kingdom to be wrapped in foamed filamented polypropylene.
That, of course, is the new foamed filamented polypropylene. But what about Milky Way? New size and new lighter whip. What's a lighter whip?
Answers, please, on a postcard to Lighter Whip, Ask the Family, BBC Television, London W12.
And the man from Mars, well, Slough actually, said, the lighter whip means we've put more air in the centre.
So that means it's cheaper to make?
Well, no, it isn't, because you have to have more chocolate to put around the more air.
Then we tried surprise peas in the new handy pack. Boring old surprise peas used to come in a plastic bag in a cardboard box. So what's new? Now there's no box. Just the new handy plastic bag. Why? Well, said the man from Surprise Peas, the boxes tended to fall over in the shop. But why is it handier? Well, you don't have to take them out of the box.
So we tried new Nivea, then we wished we hadn't, because the conversation went like this. How is new Nivea new?
It's been made more Niveaized, and it performs better.
Why better?
It's preferred by customers.
Why do they prefer it?
Because it performs better.
Well, why does it perform better?
Because it's a superior product.
But what is a superior product?
A superior product is one customers prefer.
Does new Nivea soap wash any better than old Nivea soap?
Oh, I should think it probably does, but that's quite incidental as far as the public's concerned. They wouldn't even notice.
So pay attention. You are watching That's Life, the new programme.
The one with more air in the middle and deep orange all around. The first programme in the United Kingdom to be wrapped in foamed filamented polypropylene.
And the first programme that doesn't fall over when you take it out of the box.
As it's spring bank holiday, come with me now to the lovely rolling fenlands of Lincolnshire, where the land runs down to the sea and the fields stretch away as far as the eye can see, where the wind rustles in hedgerows and the meadow pipits sing.
That was a meadow pipit.
drive eastwards from King's Lynn, and eventually you'll come to the village of Terrington St Clements. And just outside the village of Terrington St Clements...
Or was it a purple gallinule?
Just outside the village of Terrington St Clements, there's a road. According to the map, the road hasn't got a name. But 6 months ago, somebody put up a sign which said Grange Road. Now, that was news to Mr. and Mrs. Dix, who live at number 30. They didn't think they lived in Grange Road. They always thought it was called Garner's Lane, named after a family called Garner. But across the road, there lives a man who's been there 25 years. He says it isn't called Grange Road, and it isn't called Garner's Lane either. It's called Marsh Road, after the nearby marsh. It definitely isn't called Garner's Lane, after the family called Garner, he says. And he should know he is Mr. Bernard Garner. 2 doors up in the same road lives Mrs. Linda Liddle. Her water rates arrive addressed to her at White House Road, Marsh Road, although the Water Board's own map calls it Markham Road. Well, I went to Sutton Bridge Parish Council and I asked them if they'd put up the sign calling it Grange Road. The man there said, "Oh, no, it wasn't us. It isn't called Grange Road. It's called Garner's Lane. I am Councillor Sidney Garner."
That is not the same Mr. Garner as the other Mr. Garner. The other Mr. Garner was called Bernard Garner, and he thought the road was called Marsh Road. This is Mr. Garner is Sidney Garner, and he thinks it's called Garner's Lane. Mr. Sidney Garner is Mr. Bernard Garner's uncle.
Thank you. The East Ellow Rural District Council told me the road belonged to the Crown Estate, so I phoned the Crown, more or less. And she said the road hadn't got a name, so then I tried the post office. "Ah," said Mr. Vickers, the postman, "you mean Worth Road. It used to be called Worth Road after a family called Worth, who lived in the Grange." Well, Mr. Eric Bell now lives in the Grange. He thought it was in Small Holdings Road, but he was delighted when the post office decided the official address for all the people who live in Garner's Lane, Marsh Road, White House Road, Markham Road, Worth Road, or Small Holdings Road is Grange Road. Terrington St Clements, King's Lynn, Norfolk. That is the official address. So there shouldn't be any problems from now on, except that Grange Road isn't in Norfolk, it's in Lincolnshire.
Meanwhile, some 113 miles from Grange Road, Terrington St Clements, King's Lynn, Norfolk, which we now know is in Lincolnshire, the Chelsea Flower Show opened this week. The correct postal address of the Chelsea Flower Show is Chelsea Flower Show, Royal Hospital Grounds, Royal Hospital Road, SW3, which of course is in Wiltshire. This is a picture of the Queen Mother at the Chelsea Flower Show looking at the flowers. This is a picture of Princess Margaret at the Chelsea Flower Show admiring the fuchsias. That is a picture of Mr. Bernard Saunders planting a primrose. Mr. Saunders is not at the Chelsea Flower Show. He's halfway up the main road from Great Hucklow to Bakewell in Derbyshire. Don't worry, it should all become clear in just a moment. I'm sitting in this charming little garden in the village of, the tiny village of Little Hucklow near Bakewell in Derbyshire. Now, you might think that this is a private garden. In fact, it's attached, as it were, to the pub, the Old Bull's Head, at the top of the hill. But when I say attached, that's, well, something of a simplification, because this garden is actually on council property. It's on the verge alongside this road. Now, the pub, you see, doesn't have a garden of its own, but what it has got is a landlord called Bernie Saunders. Bernie, hello.
There you are, my worthy friend. Two of the best in the world.
Cheers. Have a
Cheers
seat.
to you, too. Thanks very much.
And Bernie here is a man who, well, just loves flowers. He's got green fingers which just throb if he's not actually planting something. He's a sort of demon gardener. And that's what he's done. He's just planted and planted and planted. All the way from the pub, the Old Bull's Head, at the top of the hill, right down this minor road, right down to the bottom at the point where it joins the main road. A distance of about a third of a mile. Why don't some of the villagers like this garden? Because clearly they don't.
Well, I tell you, I really think, because I've made it look attractive under this new rating assessment, they, in their mind, think that they'll probably increase the value of the property, and so they want this to go back to derelicts and so forth. Yes. I would think so.
Well, my feelings about it are this, that he's brought suburbia out into the country. The little wildflowers that grew here have disappeared entirely, and if he continues in the way he is doing, I think he'll find himself eventually at Bradwell.
Now, of course, the main point at issue is that the council have to react to complaints from the village.
Oh, yes, I quite agree with
you. And the main point is this is not your land, is it? I mean, this is not your property.
No, it's highway property, but I've not taken it away. It's still there.
Well, you have, what shall we say? What word will we use?
Appropriated it, shall we say.
You've appropriated it?
Yeah. Well, now,
which is wrong.
Well, you can put different interpretations on this. There's one, King's English Dictionary, is to take it. Well, say yes, all right. Council come along and say, yes, I've taken it. I've wrapped it up, sealed it up in a big parcel and sent it to Africa, where they could do with a bit of green stuff.
Yes. Now, the council haven't said that you've got to lift because it's 10,000 bulbs and 2,000 bedding plants you put down. All they're requiring is that you apply for a license to grow.
Well, I wouldn't do it on principle. The point is, I'm not going to pay for a licence when I'm doing something that's saving the council money, cleaning this roadway up.
The local authority is bound to protect the public. That is to say, we can't allow people to plant trees or shrubs or the verges in such a way that pedestrians have to walk off in front of oncoming traffic, or that the apparatus of statutory undertakers in the verges are interfered with.
To apply for a licence, which has no doubt cost me money, I thought, what a hell of a thing to do, and I'm making the place beautiful. It smacks too much of officialdom and dictatorship.
But you see, I think you're assuming, Mr. Saunders, that the County Council, having considered this matter, would automatically refuse you consent. And I suggest to you that's not necessarily a correct assumption.
Well, that's very nice to know that, young man. It's very nice to know that. But it didn't look like it to me.
Oh, well, there you are.
Ah. Well, then, I can assume then, if I make this application, it will be readily granted without any strings.
I think you can assume it'll...
You mustn't think, you must be sure about this.
Very sympathetic consideration.
Oh, well, in that
but
case...
I'm certainly not prepared to say any more than that at this particular point.
No, well, all right.
That's a blooming shame.
From time to time, we shall on this programme be doing our own consumer surveys. And we shall be concentrating particularly on those consumers who somehow, despite all the organisations which exist, still manage to slip through the net.
And so tonight, I'd like to start by talking for a few moments to my minority section of our society, the Dirty Mac Brigade. Are you a man in a dirty Mac? I don't mean the cinema seat-swapping knee-trembler or the public park prowler, but the dirty book buyer. If you're a man in a dirty Mac who spends valuable time and even more valuable money seeking out your particular kind of literature, then I'd like to pose this question. Are you getting value for money? Are all dirty books equally dirty? Even worse, and here's a thought to send a shudder through every mind in a dirty Mac, are some of the so-called dirty books merely boring old classics in seductive covers? I purchased 4 dirty books in the interest of a man in a dirty Mac from W.H. Smith on Waterloo Station, and submitted them to independent tests for DV. I'll say that again, DV, dirt value. And these are some of our results, and I might say they're pretty revealing. First, I read As the Naked Wind from the Sea, 175 pages at 30 pence. This book contained 13 IMs, intimate moments, which works out at 1 intimate moment every 14 pages. In other words, 2.3 pence per IM. Next, I read My Bed is Not for Sleeping, 256 pages and costing 35 pence. This contained 9 IMs and 4 AIMs, almost intimate moments. Not bad value, this book. 3 pence per intimate moment, if you take into account that 2 almost intimate moments equal 1 intimate moment. Number 3 was No, John, No, and this was a great letdown. In fact, there were no intimate moments at all. And frankly, for 189 pages at 30 pence, it's not only poor value, it's absolutely disgusting. Or not disgusting, but, yeah. My 4th test, The Girls. 192 pages at 35 pence contained only one IM. Surely, in this day and age, it's not too much to ask the publishers to mark clearly where the dirty bits are. Do you know, I was forced to read 50 pages of My Bed Is Not for Sleeping before I found any filth at all. The figures speak for themselves. Here, one intimate moment costs you a reasonable 2.3 pence, and here, a staggering 28 pence. There's only one answer. Shop around. Be selective. It is the duty of every man in a dirty Mac in the street to be his own watchdog. This is the only way that standards can be improved, which brings me to a word of warning to the less experienced men in dirty Macs. There is, on the bookstores, a book called Pornography by Lord Longford, which is, I suspect, a pseudonym. Don't be fooled as I was. It's dead boring. However, I have managed to come up with my own little goodie. You won't find it in every bookshop, but for dirt value, I give it the full 5-star rating. I heartily recommend The Old Testament. The plot's a bit tricky, but it's packed with pornographic images. I look forward to reading the sequel.
Now we're going to be a bit more serious for a moment and talk about some children. No one's very happy when children have to go into hospital, even if it's only for something like tonsils. And everybody is happy when they can leave the hospital and go back home. But there are 7,000 children in hospital today who aren't going to go back home. Not because they're ill. In fact, they shouldn't be in hospital at all. There's just nowhere else for them to go. All of them have been there for months or years. 2,000 of these children haven't been visited by anyone for at least 4 months. They're there because they're severely handicapped children, but they aren't ill and they don't need to be in a hospital. Let's take just 3 children, all in the Harperbury Hospital in Hertfordshire. Ellen Toth is 12. When she was 3 years old, she caught meningitis. She's been in hospital for the last 9 years. But for the last 6 years, the hospital hasn't been giving her any special medical treatment. They've just been looking after her. Her last report says she responds with smiles but no speech. She understands good girl, likes the feel of sand, enjoys water and bubble play. According to the report, she can understand more than she can express, but, quotes, there has been no change in her behaviour since the last assessment.
Gary Carolan is 8. He's been in hospital for the last 5 years. Officially, he's described as SSN, severely subnormal. But his report says that he's energetic and very attention-seeking. He needs consistent, firm, affectionate handling. He's a healthy, fit boy. He appears to have a great deal of comprehension in a familiar situation. He would be teachable, but he is in hospital.
Anthony Keir's 11. He's been in hospital for 8 years. His latest report says his comprehension is far in advance of his almost absent speech, which may be due to possible minimal brain damage, but more likely is due to his social deprivation as a toddler and to the difficulty of contributing as an individual in a hospital setting. In other words, as long as he's in a hospital, Anthony won't get better, which means he'll have to stay in a hospital. What he really needs, his report says, is to develop a close relationship with one person or a small group, a family. But these children can't really live at home with their families because although they don't need to be in hospital, they do need special accommodation and a good local day centre where they can be properly taught. But their families live some distance away. Parents often lose touch. The hospital may not know what's happened to them. The hospital were not aware until we told them that Anthony's mother had died 2 years ago. So there they are, Anthony, Gary, and Ellen. 3 children out of 7,000 in a hospital for perhaps the rest of their lives. Now, Dr. Ricks is a consultant who specialises in working with mentally handicapped children. Dr. Ricks, this is obviously a very good hospital, but quite obviously it's not what they need. What, in your view, do these children really need?
Well, this is a very complicated issue, and of course it's difficult for me to describe a solution very simply, but certainly I think the children that you describe are the sort of children that we can get only so far with in the hospital And what they really need is an opportunity for living in a family-like situation and for enjoying opportunity of going on buses and attending shops and things of this order which normal children would enjoy. And I suppose to do this, what we really need is to provide them with many more homes in the community than are presently available.
Well, have you any example of a child that's managed to get this kind of experience?
Well, we know of a little girl who I saw recently, who was a child called Mariana, who was a 5-year-old, a perky girl who was very attractive and was first I met her first of all in the outpatients in a hospital in London. And there she was screaming incessantly and banging her head and running around. And her father described to me in a distraught fashion the life that they had to live at home with this child. And we admitted her and reduced her behaviour disturbance considerably.
In hospital?
In hospital. She's quite capable of doing most things for herself. She's really no longer screaming. She's capable of playing with other children. She's relating with adults. And she's concentrating adequately to be really a reasonable proposition in a school. And together with the local authority and the educational authority, we've been able to find her an appropriate school and to fit her into hostel placement so that she can now live close to her parents and stay within the family circle.
Well, that sounds hopeful for Marianne, Dr. Ricks. Thank you very much indeed. Bob.
So hopefully a better future for Mariana. But one of the 7,000 children who isn't in hospital anymore is Trevor Livesey, and he's 9. He spent 3 years there. His mother says, I couldn't bear to go and see him in hospital. I hardly went at all. I simply couldn't bear it. Trevor couldn't do anything for himself. He just moved around on his stomach. He was just like an animal, except animals could do more than he could. But 2.5 years ago, his Essex local authority made a grant which helped to pay for Trevor to go to a spastic society school. In those 2.5 years, he's learnt to talk and walk and feed himself and play and swim. He knows his mother, and she now visits him regularly.
Which is an extraordinary development, Dr. Ricks. How many children, in your view, do you think could benefit in that way if they got out of hospital into a different environment?
Well, based on our own experience with the children, I dare say that over half of the children could, if we had adequate community homes for them. But let us remember that if we have community homes, they have to be sited in the community. And that means us, because we are the community, in fact. And so we really have to accept these children living among us, which means that you and I and the viewers have to be prepared to have these children living, if necessary, next door.
And if we were prepared to do so, that means that well over 3,000 children could now leave hospital. Well, the Department of Health and Social Security told us that children should only, in their view, be kept in hospital for treatment they can't get anywhere else. And if they don't need regular treatment, we should help parents to care for their children at home. And if that isn't possible, then in the community homes, which are run by local authorities. But they say this is a long-term policy because local authorities have so many demands on their funds, which is sad but true. And until it stops being true, Ellen and Tony and Gary could well spend the rest of their lives in hospitals with the other 7,000 children like them.
And now here's Cheryl Kennedy. Now, even before today's dramatic developments, and happily it's not as bad as it might have been, a PHS who writes the diary in the London Times wanted to know why there wasn't a pop song about the Cod War. Well, here's one for him, and a patriotic pop song as well.
Once again our country stands in danger. Once again the voice of Britain calls. Once again we face a warlike stranger who's trying to cut us down to size by cutting off our trawls. They're trying to deprive us of the people's favourite dish, but we'll fight the metal and show we're quite a dish. we'll send it COD. Come on, lads, join the Navy of Jutland and the River Plate. The memory ever lingers. Wait until they see that Britain is still great. We'll teach those fools Britannia rules and show them two fish fingers. Anchors away, call grows ever louder. Cover your cod, please keep your powder dry. Come on, lads, let's be prouder. The Navy's out of mothballs and it's got some fish to fry. Hello, sailor.
Cheryl Kennedy. Now, judging by the newspaper headlines, a number of our distinguished citizens seem to be leading rather strenuous lives these days. So we thought, on their behalf and yours, we'd conduct an inquiry into all the products that promise us extra vitamins to keep us healthy and full of extra vigour. So we made a collection of some of the products and we took them along to Dr. Eddy. He is the senior lecturer in the Department of Human Nutrition at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, which isn't a bad title for a start.
Sonatogen. Do you ever wonder how some people stay so calm and unruffled? Do you wish you could be like them? Why not follow the example of thousands of nerve sufferers who find relief with Sonatogen Nerve Tonic?
The doctor said, nerve tonic? There's really no such thing. Either your nerves work or they don't.
Mr. Bray of Caerphilly says, after taking Sonatogen, I feel a new man.
Oh.
The list of contents says 94.5% of Sonatogen is casein.
According to the doctor, that's milk protein like cheese.
And 0.5 is glycerol monooleate.
Which is a simple fat. There's more of that in cheese.
Filosan.
Filosan fortifies the over 40s.
Not anymore. Growing old begins as early as our 28th year. According to Filosan, the professor of physiochemistry at Leipzig said so. Huh.
Our doctor says that's quite true.
But I'm over 28.
Aren't we all?
Speak for yourself.
Filosan helps depression, tiredness and loss of confidence, and devitalized blood.
A doctor's never heard of that, except perhaps in a corpse.
Biostrath. Biostrath is an elixir.
The doctor said, what a lovely label, I do like that.
Biostrath contains yeast and malt.
It's almost beer.
And honey.
That's sugar.
And orange juice.
Well, that should contain vitamin C, but I'd still prefer a glass of beer. The doctor said that, not me.
This unique food supplement has proved its worth in the competitive world of sport under the most rigorous conditions.
Yeast is a rich source of vitamin B, which releases energy, but there's absolutely no evidence it makes athletes run faster. Mind you, if you hadn't got any, you wouldn't be able to run at all.
Many Biostrath people are internationally famous people like Bobby Charlton, Jimmy Young, Barbara Windsor, Monty Modlin, and Clay Ragazzoni.
They would only need it if they had a grossly inadequate diet.
Clay Ragazzoni? Who's Clay Ragazzoni?
They'd do better to improve their diet than take Biostrath unless they've had their stomachs removed. It might be useful then.
It's a good question. Who is Clay Ragazzoni?
He's a racing driver.
Oh, that Clay Ragazzoni. Yeah. KH3, to counter the effects of advanced age.
Caution, it's recommended that medical advice is sought before commencing a course of treatment.
The medical advice we sought said, put it in a waste paper basket.
Okaza, silver tablets.
I asked him what the silver coating was for. He said, it looks nice. I asked what happens when you swallow it. He said, it goes down smoothly. Then it goes on through. Straight through.
The silver coating symbolizes the high standards of manufacture.
And if you swallow that, you'll swallow anything.
Royal Bath Pharmaton, with regenerating action upon skin and body, contains vitamin F.
The doctor said, magic. I don't know what vitamin F is.
The pores are cleansed and opened to be nourished and regenerated by vitamins.
There's no evidence whatsoever that vitamins are absorbed through the skin. The only way you could be nourished would be to drink your bath water.
The skin is fed with new blood.
Where'd you get the new blood from? The bath?
Our doctor said, the thing to remember is that all vitamins and minerals we need are contained in normal food, otherwise none of us would be here today. Just feeling off colour is not a good reason for taking pills. Vitamin deficiency is put right by a sensible diet. And an overdose of vitamins A and D can be harmful. An overdose of iron can be dangerous. Never allow a child near them.
Which brings us to the raging whirlwind of controversy surrounding vitamin E.
Blaco tablets. Higher potency vitamin E. Peak performance for men.
I rang the managing director and asked him if it had been proved to work. He said, yes. I said, how? He said, by the number of people taking it. I said, it says higher potency. He said, oh, no, that's the tablets. They come in 3 strengths: high potency, higher potency, highest potency. Some people do claim it makes them more potent, but he said, don't take my word for it, ring Barbara Cartland. So I did. I actually spoke to Barbara Cartland, and this is really what she said.
You've been talking to quite the wrong people. Vitamin E deficiency gives you menopause problems, increased sexuality, a loss of sexual and general vigour. I call it the youth, life and sex vitamin. It is also good for preventing varicose veins. I take 15 supervitamin tablets a day. It's very good for taking oxygen to the heart, and it cures bed sores. I know more about vitamins than anyone else in the country because I started in the 1920s working in the depressed areas. I don't have any diplomas because I couldn't be bothered to pass all those boring exams. But the thing is, I'm always right, and the doctors are all coming round to my way of thinking. Take Dr. Shute, who practically invented vitamin E in America.
Our doctor said he'd never heard of Dr. Shute. He had heard of Mr. Evans and Mr. Bishop, who discovered vitamin E in America. Mind you, vitamin E deficiency does cause sterility in rats. Miss Cartland says our doctor is meeting the wrong kind of vitamin. She said I should really talk to a Mr. Van Stratton, who has a really wonderful institute doing the most marvellous work.
Mr. Van Stratton is chairman of Biostrath, UK.
Well, now we'd like to offer you, our viewers, a unique service. It's a service offered by no other programme on television, and we call it Heap of the Week. If you have anything in your home, or at the bottom of the garden, come to that, which has given you some trouble, or bother, or aggravation, and you can't stand the sight of it, get in touch with us. We won't do anything about it, but we'll get rid of it for you. Tonight's Heap of the Week belongs to Mr. Colin Crompton, who, when he isn't being driven mad by his Heap of the Week, is one of the comedians on Granada's The Comedians, and his heap was a freezer. This is the monstrous freezer itself, is it, Mr. Crompton?
Yes, you're actually leaning on it.
Yes.
It might get you.
So when did it start to go wrong?
We went away for the summer season and we came back and noticed puddles of water on the floor, which we didn't connect with the freezer. We didn't know that these puddles of water.
What did you connect them with?
Well, we went around giving each other accusing looks, and we sort of looked at the dog very suspiciously and kicked it up the shoe menders.
Up the...
The shoe menders. The calibre. We were very annoyed with it.
Yes, I understand.
Because we thought the dog was responsible for this, you see. But we realised in the end it was the freezer that was leaking. And wouldn't stop. I mean, once these things start, you don't need to put water in them, and they just make their own. If you pardon the expression.
I'm sure it's technical.
Yeah.
It sounds like rather an emergency. What did you...
Oh, yes, well, we realised it was an emergency. So on the front of the freezer, there is, in fact, a thing that says emergency service, ring this number. So I rang them, and a tape recording answered me. And eventually, about a fortnight after I'd originally phoned, a man did come round. He lifted it onto bricks and had a look underneath and found out it was leaking all over. It wasn't just the puddle we could see. There were other puddles hidden by this, you see. It was sort of floating rather than resting at this stage, which made it easy for him to lift up. And he just said, well, it's the insulation that's gone. Apparently that's the whole unit. I didn't understand this. It cost you £40 to have it repaired. And he went.
It would cost £40 to mend it. What did it cost to buy?
£80 to buy it. So it would cost another £40 to mend it, because I said, well, it's under guarantee. So he said, no, that's expired last month. I said, yes, but I renewed it. You sent me a notice saying that if I paid, I think it was £7 insurance, that would cover it. He said, no, that just covers the labour. He said, you pay for the part and we'll put it in for nothing.
It's funny the way that always seems to happen. Yeah.
And I said, well, did they just last 12 months? So he said, no, they'd only last 15 years. He said, you just got a bad one.
So what would you like us to do with it, Mr. Crompton?
Oh, blow it to smithereens.
Could you not have got rid of it any other way?
Well, what would you suggest? Not the sort of thing you can run away and leave it, can you?
Couldn't you have carried it to the corporation dump?
Good heavens, no, it's in and it's solid. I'd have done myself an injury. Lean on it and it leans back at you.
How do you feel about it, then?
I hate it.
Ah, Mr. Blastervates.
Good morning, madam.
How do you do?
Very well, thank you.
This is Mr. Colin Crompton.
Ah, hello, I'm pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, Colin.
Great.
I think he's been looking forward to this moment.
Has he?
Yes.
Oh, well, we'll see what we can do with it then.
Mr. Bates, have you had much experience doing this kind of thing before?
Not particularly on a freezer, but similar things like safes and things like that, and chimney stacks, and tree stumps, and all sorts of things.
You just like blowing things up.
Well, it's a living, I suppose.
Can you see any particular problems with this? This is your victim.
Oh, the breathing has stopped, has it, then?
How much explosive are you going to need for this?
Oh, I should say about 20 ounces should see it off.
Oh,
I don't think it'll be in much pain afterwards.
Right.
Would you like to actually set the explosion off?
Oh, I'd love to, yeah, that'd be great.
Right. I'll ask him if it's dangerous.
Oh, yes, I should do, because it looks it.
Did he mention to you whether it was?
No, I didn't like asking.
Blaster?
Can I come round? Oh, all right, come on. Yes?
You're going to think this is a bit cowardly.
Yeah.
Is this dangerous?
Well, not too dangerous, provided nobody chucks the fag end in there. No, it isn't too bad at the moment. Not until we put the detonator on, then it becomes dangerous.
Right, Blaster, so it's all ready to blow up, is it
It's
not?
all set now, yes. Everything's wired up. It's all set to go.
Very good. Now, when Mr. Crompton lights the fuse, how long has he got after that point?
Well, when Mr. Compton lights the fuse, he's about, I should say, about 30 seconds.
30 seconds after...
About 30 seconds when he's lit the fuse.
I better tell him. Mr. Compton,
Yes?
after you've actually lit the fuse, you've got 30 seconds to get out of the way of the bag.
All right, I lit it 10 seconds ago.
is your freezer. Good night.